Now on CoastTV News.
More qualifications for electric work.
Just like a money grab.
Businesses say it's a bad idea.
OC moratorium petition.
I really feel that we have done our due diligence.
The next steps if enough voters challenge a current rule.
Remembering Jesse Jackson.
Hope for change and doing it together.
The legacy he leaves behind in the country and here at home.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Expanding qualifications for electric work like this. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Christina DiRobertis. Welcome to our News at 6. Our top story, people who lay low voltage electric cable could need a new license in the future.
Some business owners who lay cable every day say this rule would cost them more money and make it harder for people to get jobs. The new rule would apply to low voltage wiring under 50 volts, like TV wiring, security systems, and phones. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Milton, and Brandon, a Milton business owner, spoke at a meeting about this regulation today.
Maddie, Mark Jackson owns Mid-South Audio and deals with mostly projects under 50 volts. Jackson says in the future, if you do need a license to work on projects under 50 volts, it will cost everyone time and money. But the board says it will promote safety and standard here in Delaware. A room packed full of electricians, contractors, fire alarm installers, and audio installers, all awaiting Delaware's Board of Electrical Examiners' decision on whether or not to require a license to work on projects under 50 volts. The board says licensing will promote safety for electrical installations, but Bill Sam, who installs audio equipment and more, says in 30 years on the job, he has never experienced one safety problem from sub-50 volt work.
Just like a money grab. They're just looking for another way, something else to regulate. We'd like to get away from that. We follow the standards, and so do the rest of our colleagues that were here today.
James Murphy, a member of the Electrical Examiners Board, said this is not about signaling out any type of trade or certain company. It's about creating a standard that everyone can follow. But critics say the rule will impact thousands of jobs and hurt small business. Sam says if this rule does pass, it will basically render his team's training useless.
We perform to the standards of common electrical practices, and we have more certifications than any electrician could ever imagine having. And our staff, they take probably 500 hours of training a year to stay up to today's standards.
Board members are still determining the exact details the new rule would have, like whether everything would need licensing and inspecting, like every ceiling fan installation, and if the licenses would be required for each business or each employee. The board is considering a subcommittee to hone in on the details of this new rule, though nothing was finalized in the meantime. Businesses like this one are waiting on a decision that could cost them thousands. Live in Milton, Brandon Ferguson, CoastTV News.
That proposed change to Delaware's electrical rules first happened in August 2025, but public input was delayed. Later that year, the Delaware Board of Electrical Examiners scheduled a public hearing on the proposal, which would require licensed electricians for that low voltage work under 50 volts. That hearing, though, was later canceled, and now you see this proposal remains under review.
Tonight, the town of Ocean City will announce if enough verified signatures were submitted to enact a referendum in town. The petition submitted is in response to the extension of a moratorium in residential areas and mobile home communities, restricting any new rental licenses in those areas. Petitioners say voters should decide those rules, not the council. According to the town, 1,257 signatures were submitted. Only 990 of them need to be verified for a referendum to take place and for voters to decide. One homeowner we spoke with believes they do have enough verified votes.
I really feel that we have done our due diligence and shown that the people have spoken.
If that petition is successful, the moratorium will be suspended until voters decide.
Tributes have been pouring in for civil rights leader Jesse Jackson. Jackson died peacefully Tuesday morning in Chicago, according to his nonprofit. He was 84 years old. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer ordered all U.S. and Delaware flags to be flown at half-staff. We also spoke today with Joseph Lawson from the Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice, who once worked with Jackson.
The thing that will get America through is the things and the ideas that Jesse Jackson left, ultimately. Hope for a better America, hope for change, and doing it together, the Rainbow Coalition. All of us Americans coming together and finding what we have in common and working for the common good.
Jackson worked hand in hand with Martin Luther King Jr. He also ran for president in 1984 and 1988, making it the first time an African American was a serious contender for a major party's nomination.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore reacting this morning, saying in part, quote, "Of the many shoulders that we stand on, Jesse Jackson's were amongst the broadest. He led with love and reminded all of us of our voice and our power."
Let's take a live look outside now into Ocean City, or what we can see of it. Quite a foggy night there on the boardwalk as we turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Well, you know, we have been getting progressively warmer. We're steadily climbing the ladder there as far as the temps are concerned. But we have an abundance of moisture, which kind of works against us as far as visibility is concerned, but it actually helps enhance the comfortability of the air. Right now we're at 41 degrees, but the dew point temperature is 38, so that's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So it doesn't have that cold, dry feel to the air. We're going to drop down to 39 by 10 o'clock. Now, about 3 to 4 to 5 degrees warmer now than we were just 24 hours ago. So there's been progress in that vein. And we had a high of 42 degrees for today in Georgetown, 45 in Salisbury. Active right now, dense fog advisory for both marine as well as the inland areas, bracing for the visibility to drop to less than a quarter of a mile in some places.
The Olympics are only here on Coast TV, so we're keeping track of the medals for you. Let's take a look at the screen so far, and Norway says they're in the lead easily. 14 gold medals, that's gone up, 31 medals in total. Italy has its best performance ever at the Winter Olympics. The U.S. in third with 21 medals so far.
This does bring us right to our Coast TV poll. We're asking, which winter sport should Delmarva try more?
I like this one. Let's see the results so far. 58% say curling. All right, 29% say ice skating, 2% say ski trips, 11% say snowboarding. You gotta go elsewhere for that, I think.
Yeah. If you haven't voted yet, we really want to know what you think. So head over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app, and we'll show you updated results later at 11. Don't forget, the Winter Olympics are not done yet. They continue until February 22nd, only here on Coast TV.
A plane skidded off the runway and into a ditch today in Georgetown. That's according to the Georgetown Fire Company. You can see it right there. Firefighters say people were on the plane. Nobody was hurt, though, during that emergency. Details about this plane and what led up to this kind of skidding off the runway, that is being investigated by the airport.
Local governments and police agencies in Maryland are now banned from entering into official agreements with federal immigration and customs enforcement. The law also requires existing agreements to be abandoned, including the one in Wicomico County. Wicomico was one of 7 counties that did sign agreements with ICE.
A public workshop is coming up for the Airport Road Corridor Study in Milford. That's focused on improving safety, specifically between Canterbury Road and Route 113. Officials are now looking for community feedback to help shape possible improvements. The workshop takes place Thursday from 4 to 6:30 at the Food Bank of Delaware Cafe in Milford. Important to note, this is the same area that's been closed for months as the city is building a new traffic circle there.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer's proposed budget includes $48 million for housing. The Delaware State Housing Authority says that funding would expand affordable housing, create new shelters, provide permanent supportive housing, and streamline homelessness services. This budget is currently under review by lawmakers. Many of them say this tight budget year requires careful spending and accountability.
This is going to go a long way towards making life a little bit more affordable for families and make sure that we have the services we need to provide services for people experiencing homelessness and invest in our communities.
The Delaware State Housing Authority says the majority of the funding is tied to the proposed bond bill, with a presentation scheduled for April.
And we have a lot more news to get to this evening. Coming up in sports, Parkside basketball needs a victory tonight. Why tonight's matchup is so crucial for the team.
And an unlikely delay to your morning commute, dense fog is on the menu.
But first, how one organization is empowering the blind and low vision individuals to live, learn, and work without limits when we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Breaking boundaries and being blind. Hundreds of people came together in Ocean City to share personal stories and resources and connect, all with the goal of empowering those who are blind or have low vision. Coast TV reporter Kevin Zapay takes us there.
Blindness is not what holds you back.
That was the message in Ocean City as the National Federation of the Blind of Maryland hosted its event, bringing together guest speakers, vendors, and hundreds of attendees in support of people experiencing blindness and low vision. Ronza Othman, a volunteer with the Federation, says the nonprofit has helped her and many others gain independence.
I thought I was doing a great job and I was living in the world and living my best life until I met a whole bunch of blind and low vision people who had a lot more independent skills than I did.
Othman says the organization receives about $250,000 a year in donations. Money, she says, goes directly back into programs that support the blind community.
We offer something called the NFB Bell Academy, Braille Enrichment and Literacy and Learning, and those are essentially summer camps for blind and low vision kids so they can learn Braille and assistive technology and how to use their canes in their communities.
In addition to guest speakers, attendees had the chance to explore new technology designed to increase independence. Devices like the Dot Pad give people the ability to read content connected to their tablets, from reading Harry Potter,
a large tawny owl flutter past the window,
to be able to feel any type of drawing.
That is a triangle.
We're now able to interact with the information with our peers in real time.
Chris Danielson, a board member of the Federation in Maryland, says events like this show what's possible.
And people really need to understand that they can live with blindness and they can still be happy, they can still learn, they can still work, they can still be productive. So it means an awful lot to me personally to be able to give back what I was given and to talk to people and say, you know, your life is not over just because you lost the 1 sense of your eyesight. You're going to be okay.
With the Federation growing, leaders say everyone is welcome to join. According to Othman, this Federation has around 2,000 members in the state of Maryland and says anyone looking to join should reach out. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
On one hand, we're going to get warmer, and thanks to the extra moisture in the atmosphere, it's going to make us feel that much more comfortable. On the other side, it's going to be kind of hard to see in the morning time because the fog is already becoming so dense you can hardly see it in some locations. Some of our live views, I mean, you can see it's just thick as pea soup as we speak. But Ocean View is not one of those. I mean, we're looking very clear for right now. But take a look at the dew point temperature and the temperature. Now, the air temperature is 35. Dew point temperature is 33, so there's only 2 degrees difference between the two. So we have an overabundance of it. It might be considered a challenging hair day if your hair is compromised by moisture. And we're going to stay in the 30s for the rest of the evening. Now, we do have dense fog advisory, meaning fog is going to be so dense you can't see, period. And that's inland areas, you know, Seaford along Highway 13, 113, 20, as well as 24. But we also have an additional marine dense fog advisory, which means, hey, even if you have a boat that's tied up somewhere, leave it tied up. It's too dense to start trying to migrate that. And that's been now extended from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague and really primarily right along this Atlantic-facing area of the Delmarva Peninsula. Not so much for us in the Chesapeake Bay area, although it does reach in some inland areas. By the way, happy Lunar New Year. This is the New Year 2026, the year of the horse. That's right. Now, keep in mind that we are expecting for it to stay a bit cloudy for us as we roll the wheel for the forecast, staying in the upper 30s with mostly cloudy skies. Happy new lunar year. Overnight lows, 42 in Redden as well as Georgetown, 44 for the overnight low, Delmar, 43, Seaford. Future fog is going to be our big deal. After midnight, we'll start seeing the fog overtake Fenwick Island, Ocean City, as well as Bethany Beach. And then we'll start seeing another wave of fog coming on the other side from Salisbury up to Delmar, up towards the Seaford area, and then it'll encompass all of us. Even going into the evening hours, it might even linger a little bit more than what it's supposed to. Our temperature trend for the next few days, we're going to be well above the norm till we get to Sunday. So now we're looking forward to temperatures climbing to near 60 degrees for Wednesday. Not out of the realms of possibility. In fact, likely to occur if we get just a smidgen of sunshine. But we start off so cloudy. We stay that way till we get to the afternoon and evening, where we're going to see some widely scattered showers. And so as I'm telling my news co-workers, this is not the time to have a live shot outside if the camera's sensitive to rain. But anyway, I just let you in on our news meeting. All right, here we go. So as we go into Thursday, we stay a bit on the cloudy side, but still mild, and another hit and miss spot shower will plop through. We have an 81% chance of rain on Friday, a 77% chance of rain on Sunday. As we go into Thursday, going into Friday, you'll see we have a decent slice of rain that pulls through, sticks around for Friday morning, then it pulls out of the way. Saturday's kind of hit and miss, and then Monday becomes interesting because early in the morning, we get the back end of this with a little bit of snow, but that's 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll wait and see. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
When you think of Parkside B-ball, you think of Javon Comagese. The junior reached 1,000 career points last time out versus QAC. But earlier last week, Rams bench boss Bobby Bates told us it's a whole team effort.
It's a great feeling. Obviously, they're one of the better teams on the Bayside. You know, I'm pretty sure they were #1 coming in. Very well coached, very hard playing team. So to be able to get that, especially like you said, I think 4 games in a row under 2 or 3 points, and just been preaching to these guys, we got to keep doing the little things and it'll pay off. And I think it slowly is, and they're seeing how much better we're getting.
Let's shift gears to Delaware. Talk a little bit about the Blue Gold games.
Which players made the Blue Gold basketball teams? Players, coaches, and fans. Be the first to find out. The official rosters drop live this Wednesday at 2:30 on the Delmarva Sports Network. We'll reveal every selection and spotlight the stars representing their schools in this year's game. Watch it live on DSN or stream it on the DSN app with DSN Plus. The Blue Gold Selection Show, only on the Delmarva Sports Network.
Each Friday, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV, including features like you just saw on the Maryland Federation for the Blind. There's also cool things to do each weekend and more. You can sign up right now, coasttv.com/sign up, or use that QR code, Paul.
There's a lot of fun things to catch up with. Now listen, we do have a dense fog advisory, and we're seeing the proof is in the pudding. You can see in Ocean City, different from Ocean View, how dense the fog is right now. We're just kind of catching it depending on where you are. Going to stay in the 30s for the rest of this evening with that abundance of moisture. Now, by the way, in case you ever wondered, a fog is actually a cloud on the ground, technically speaking. And that's what we're enjoying, a cloudy ground day. All right, so Dewey Beach, Ocean View along Highway 1, we have the dense marine fog advisory. And in addition to the inland areas, we also have additional concerns for fog there as well. That's covering the entire Northeast. Our umbrella giveaway winner, Wanda Tyler of Berlin. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstead, Mendalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Hey, we'll call it an even 60 for tomorrow, despite how cloudy it's going to be. And we're going to stay above the norm for this time of the year, all the way till we get to, let's say, Sunday, when that cold Arctic blast kicks back in once again.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
You can find more news and weather on our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great night.